brightest sun in the sky.
Oh, and a leaping clothesline.
The greatest that beat the greatest, La Boricua badass.
Competitor as well as incredibly physical, but now Tasha Steelz
To get the shoulder off the canvas, but oh, a spine buster.
Tasha Steelz.
This fairy tale sucks. Why didn't you give me trust? Trust. 7 sins. Which one will pull me in? Is there no way I can win? Oh, 7 sins. 2, 3, 4.
To Women's Wrestling Army!
Hello and welcome to your close-up with La Boricua badass Tasha Steelz. In this WWA exclusive limited series, we're going to dig in, take a deeper look at some of your matches here at Women's Wrestling Army. But first and foremost, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Couldn't be any better. Life is good. I'm hanging in there, being the badass that I am. You know, I wake up, I'm still the greatest that beat the greatest. So, yeah. How are you?
I am great. And you know, every day it's another win. And we have to remark on the fact that we had great minds thinking alike today with our shirt choices. So
It's flavor. It's flavor.
It's flavor. Yes. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that as well. But without further ado, let's get right into things because we got to see you compete at our first taping. The journey begins at Fete Music Hall. What did it mean to you to be getting in on the ground floor of Women's Wrestling Army and setting the tone for their debut event?
It meant a lot to me because when I first heard the idea from Maria and Bobby Cruz, I immediately wanted to jump on it. If there's anything that when it comes to women's wrestling and wanting to change and change just the standard of what people think of women's wrestling and just being able to be a part of making history, I'm all for it. You know, I'm a history maker. So when I just definitely just gave it a shot, just asked Maria, you know, if there's anything I can do, help out, be a part of it, anything, I would love to. And just having one shot, you know, that's all you kind of get is one shot. If you do get a second opportunity, then, you know, that's good. But normally you get like, you know, one shot with people and that's the first impression that you get with them. And being able to actually have that one shot and then coming in as champion was even better for me, and just made that impression even more to want to perform for Women's Wrestling Army. So being able to be on that ground floor and get things started is a lot, and to do it as champion, as an Impact Knockouts World Champion was even better for me, and even better that I was able to face the Reina de Reinas champion Taya Valkyrie. That was just the chef's kiss for me.
It certainly was. It was the chef's kiss for a lot of people because, yes, as you said, it was one hell of a first impression. You were both reigning champions at the time. And though the titles weren't on the line, and although you and Taya weren't strangers to one another, how did the competition of another highly decorated champion like yourself raise the stakes for you in that match?
I've watched Taya for a long time, and I know it was more so on me than her because she's been she was the longest reigning Knockouts World Champion, and I don't think anyone has defeated her record. So that was in my mind already, and her already being Reina de Reinas champion, something I also wanted to be as well. It was just a lot. It was a lot, but it was just something on me that I had to prove. You know, it was just more so on me wanting to prove that I do belong in the likes of wrestling someone like Taya Valkyrie. And I went in there, and yeah, we were at one time when we were in a tag team. She was in a separate tag team, I was in a separate tag team, but having that one-on-one for the very first time and doing it at WWA was amazing to me. And being able to say that I can get in there and hang with Taya Valkyrie was even better.
And that hang with Taya Valkyrie you did. So let's take a look at the match highlights right now.
Oh, but I'm saying you leave an open target, Taya Valkyrie is going to strike.
Taya's a veteran. of about 12 years in pro wrestling. You can't turn your back on a woman like Taya. She will make you pay. Trained by the legendary Lance Storm. Very technically skilled. And has added that lucha arsenal as well. Studying down in Mexico.
What she's willing to do to get what she deserves. This is someone that exudes boss lady energy. I mean, not only the status, the bragging rights, the fact that you are cementing your status here at Women's Wrestling Army as the journey begins. Pandemonium from Taya Valkyrie, taking out all the stops early on in this bout.
It has been all Taya here, pretty much since the opening bell, and now La Güera Roca taking it to the floor with a flurry of knees.
That's what's so beautiful about Taya Valkyrie is that
Knockouts champion Tasha Steelz as well is a young woman who has overcome a lot of adversity in her life, came from a tough neighborhood in New Jersey, fought her way up in pro wrestling. Not the biggest fight, not the biggest dog in the fight, but a lot of fight in her heart. GCW as part of For the Culture at the Collective during a big weekend of wrestling in Dallas. You may have heard a lot of people went to Dallas one weekend at the beginning of April.
You know,
Kind of a big deal.
Some murmurs about that.
It was maniacal.
I believe it. But now, Tasha Steelz trying to shift the complexion of this match. Uppercut to Valkyrie from Steelz. Nightmare takes Taya down. Off the ropes.
Oh, penalty kick connects right into a cover. Back press, shoulders down, and a kick out at 2. By the 4-time Reina de Reinas champion. Meant her legacy as one of the very best women wrestlers in the entire world. Oh, and a leaping clothesline, though, by the Knockouts champ. Into another cover.
Looking to end it here is Tasha Steelz. Taya says no. Now wrenching back on the arm of Valkyrie. All that torque on the neck.
Submission predicament for Valkyrie here, right in the middle of the ring, trying to inch towards the ropes here and use that size advantage to get the foot across the bottom rope, force the break.
Tasha Steelz clobbering down on the shoulders. Big open palm strike.
And there's the size advantage of Valkyrie. Whereas Tasha may take 3 or 4. Oh! Blue Thunder Bomb for the win! No! Taya maybe spent a little too much time talking some junk to Steelz, and now Tasha trying to use the ropes. Oh, but again, plants Valkyrie this time. Cover!
Looking to, what more do I have to throw at Taya Valkyrie?
Yeah, Tasha looked a little frustrated right there. Taya into the corner. Oh, closed the gap with that elbow. Nowhere for Steelz to go, and the size advantage again, just maybe a little too much for the Knockouts champ to overcome. Hip attack in the corner.
Valkyrie full out of steam.
Oh, double knees! And credit where credit's due to the Knockouts champ, displaying the heart that she showed in dethroning the legendary Mickie James. And go to the eyes! Super kick. Steelz takes a shortcut here.
Tasha Steelz off the rope. Takes down Valkyrie once more.
Face
Now
first
the
cover.
That's it!
A huge win for Tasha Steelz over Taya Valkyrie, but taking a shortcut.
Winning this match, the Impact Knockouts World Champion, Tasha Steelz.
So okay, we heard some of the trash talk between the two of you before the match even started, and you said that people wish that they could have the flavor that you have. So is there maybe any advice that you can give folks to help them incorporate more flavor in their lives?
I don't know. I mean, there's only one woman that actually can give all that flavor. It's kind of difficult for anyone to try and match the same flavor as Tasha Steelz. You would have to really be underneath Tasha Steelz in order to like grasp some of that flavor that I even just have a lot of. But you know, people try. They definitely try. And I can't knock them for trying. So just a little bit is good, but if to get higher than Tasha Steelz, that will never happen. So yeah, it's hard for them.
It's okay. We understand. They can try and grasp at the flecks of flavor that come off of Tasha Steelz. We understand. So So on commentary, we discussed, though, how tough of a fighter you are and how gritty you can be when push comes to shove. What factors do you feel like made you the competitor that you are when you step in the ring?
Just growing up where I grew up at, I didn't grow up in the most richest areas, I'm gonna say. So it was just a lot of where I went to school, a lot of cattiness with girls. Sometimes there were girls that would just try and beat other girls up just because they were prettier than them. So I've seen a lot of that. And in my family, we don't raise no punks. So it was just as, for an extracurricular activity, we would just go and we have boxing, or we would just just play fight a lot and stuff like that. My cousins and I, and we would just do that growing up. And just a lot of people, they don't really mess with us in that kind of way. But when I got into wrestling a lot more, my trainer, kind of had the same background as I did. So it helped a lot, making me more tougher because he knew where I came from and he knew what I, was doing. And he helped me get a lot more tougher. So shout out to Damian Adams and Team Adams in Wharton, New Jersey, for making me the Boricua badass that I am today. And pretty much just growing up where I came from and where I am now has helped me be the badass that I am today.
And certainly with some of that badassery, I think comes the idea of a by any means necessary kind of mentality. So, I can't not bring it up. We did see you take that shortcut, rake in the eyes of Valkyrie to help you get the win. Do you have anything to say about, using a tactic like that?
Shortcut, I would say, is just strategy. You got to look at it. Taya, her size-wise, she's bigger than me, a little bit stronger than me. So I would say, wouldn't say shortcut. I would say more so strategy. At the end of the day, I am book and street smart, so you have to always strategize when you see your opponents, no matter how big or small they are. You never underestimate them. So Taya could have been the same size as me and I would have done the same thing. It's just all about strategy in the ring, and a win is a win. No matter what you do, a win is a win.
This is very true, and you are nothing if not effective. And we got to see more of that fighting style of yours in Chicago. We saw you as part of the Warrior Fan Fest, but let's take it actually to our Begin Anywhere tapings, where you faced the female with attitude, Maserati. Heading into this match, did you know much about your opponent?
I didn't know much about Maserati. I heard her name a lot, and that made me want to look her up even more. I knew she trained out in Las Vegas, and I have a friend in Las Vegas as well, Chris Bay. So I had to give him a call real quick, and I had to ask him about Maserati, and he broke some things down to me. I wouldn't say he gave me the cheat code, wink, wink, but he broke some things down to me and told me that, this girl is very tough. She is very competitive. And, they trained together a little bit. So I knew that, once again, I can't underestimate my opponent. So no matter where they come from, I had to definitely do my research a lot more on Maserati. Like I said, I heard her name a lot, but I didn't really get to see much. So I did a lot of my research and saw that this girl can go. But I had to also remind her who I was as well. Earning my respect in the ring is a lot, because that's what I used to do. Try and gain the respect of others. So she was just one of those that had to learn that lesson, and she did.
She certainly did. And let's take a peek at that lesson being learned right now.
Maserati may not have the same accolades, but definitely has come leaps and bounds over the course of her career.
And it's a woman who has overcome a ton in her personal life. Had a very difficult upbringing on the West Coast, a tough childhood, surrounded by drugs, surrounded by gangs, was homeless at one point in her life, and has fought and scratched and crawled for everything that Maserati has gotten in this life, and now just trying to slap the taste out of Tasha's mouth.
Showing off that cardio with some jumping jacks, but takes a move right to the midsection and a headbutt to follow up. Now Tasha Steelz just clobbering.
You can't disrespect and not expect a receipt, not expect a response. Tasha ain't going out like that.
Absolutely. And even the disrespect of adjusting focus. Don't take your eyes off the La Boricua Badass.
Right now, you better not take your eyes off Maserati. With Steelz. Steelz in the corner, in her sights, hit that knee.
Fired up is Maserati. Oh, double knees.
You can't waste your time talking to the camera, talking to the fans, and you give Tasha a chance to do that.
Just that moment is all it takes. Tasha Steelz able to hang up Maserati over the rope. Lined up, and another headbutt from Tasha Steelz. Maserati is reeling. Oh, elbow drop, and finding up for one more for good measure. Tasha Steelz, is she going for a third? The wind up, and it's good.
Had a little flavor on that one.
The cover, but not enough.
And been in there with everybody on the Impact Wrestling roster.
And has been successful here at Women's Wrestling Army against Taya Valkyrie, another incredibly decorated competitor.
And this woman's feeling it right now.
You want to hang with a history maker, you got to show her what you got. Resilience, certainly a factor.
Nice hooking kick from Maserati, catching Steelz in the gut. Oh!
Oh, and that could be all she wrote, Lenny. Asking Maserati to show her what she's made of. Barely reeling out a little bit. Dropping Tasha Steelz, the clothesline, and another.
Steelz now reeling into the ropes versus the whip, though. It's Maserati off the second. Oh, into the crossbody. Cover!
Is
For the
that
upset win!
Oh, and an upset that could have been.
Maserati almost had that win just a moment ago.
Oh, an axe handle blow to the midsection. Driving the face of Tasha Steelz, the knee and the cover, hooking the leg.
Again, the back press not enough to keep Steelz down. We're going to find out from Maserati right here.
This is where we find. Oh, look at that whiplash spin kick, but now rolled up. Maserati now struggling. Oh, no. There's a Saturn. Locked in. Maserati taps out. That's it. Didn't want to let go.
Winning this match by submission, Tasha Steelz.
Hey, heck of a main event. You got to give Maserati credit. She fought her heart out.
So you kind of touched on it, but before the two of you even touched in the ring, you demanded the respect of Maserati with both physical and verbal flexing, talking about your litany of accolades. What was your reaction as you reflected on Maserati's attitude throughout this entire bout?
I mean, I felt it a little disrespectful, at first, because it's like, when you come in there, you want to, I've always been taught when I go in there, as, coming in and others who have higher accolades than me, you give them that respect, shake their hand a little bit. Hey, how you doing? Introduce yourself a little bit, because you're going to one day want to have the same accolades as me, if not more, so I felt a little disrespectful that Maserati didn't want to do that. And me helping, I was trying to help the girl out, give her some makeup tips and stuff. Want to look like a star. I'm the brightest in the sky. So here I am trying to give you that free advice, because I don't normally do that. I normally charge for this advice. So I gave her the free 99. I gave her the advice, and she didn't really fall through with it too much. She had an attitude about it. And, it set me back a little bit because I'm known to give a lot of attitude. I'm known for that. And I'm not used to it coming back to me, so it kind of threw me back a little bit. But I had to show her. That's why I had to show her later on in the ring that, you don't disrespect the brightest star in the sky. La Boricua Badass, the greatest. You don't disrespect her. You give her all the respect that she can because I worked hard to get here. She should want to do the same.
1,000%. And no, as we did see, there were a few close calls for you, but you ended up picking up the submission victory, even holding on an extra few moments after the bell sounded. Was there a message that you were sending or a meaning behind that action?
That was the next time, do as I say, listen to me, and give that respect. Otherwise, mama gonna have to put a whooping to your backside a little bit. That's just a little pow to her, a little bit. Had to give just at the end a little bit.
Understood. Now mid-match, you had told Maserati that if she wants to hang with a history maker, she's got to show you what she's got. When all was said and done, do you feel like Maz did that?
Almost definitely. Like I said, I don't never underestimate my opponents. And I go into any and every match I possibly can. Of course, me knowing that, hey, I might just, I'll settle in a little bit. I know I'm gonna beat them, but when she did give me the fight that I was looking for, I was very impressed, and definitely earned my respect. And yeah, definitely everyone has to check out Move Maserati, and that's it.
And yeah, we saw you bring Maserati to her feet, extend the handshake before leaving the ring, and even accompanying you to ringside for your match the following week against Ali Rex. Can you share any insight on your decision to have the female with attitude in your corner?
Well, like I said, she's earned my respect, and she wanted more of this flavor. She wanted to know how the history maker does what she does every single week. And I told her, I was like, well, hang with me, and I'll lead the way for you. You don't have to always just follow behind others. I'm not trying to make her underneath me to follow, but I'm trying to build her up so she can just be at the same level as I am. So in order to get that way, just kind of watch what I do. Stand ringside. Watch how I do these things. That way you can do the same, and you could just be as much of a history maker as I am.
Yeah, it's almost like inviting her to kind of sit under your learning tree, so to speak. Do you feel like that's because you, like you said, kind of see a bit of your younger self in Maserati?
Yeah, I definitely do see a little bit of myself in Maserati, and the things that I've gone through, training and traveling the roads and making these sacrifices, I've seen Maserati doing the same thing as well. And she's on the right path. She continue watching La Boricua Badass, and she keeps, watching what I do. She'll end up in the same place.
Yeah, and the hustle for you, I feel like, just doesn't stop. You're on the road constantly, all of the time. In fact, you and actually Ali Rex were acquainted with each other before even going into this match. How did having some experiences with your opponent under your belt already prepare you even better for this match at WWA?
Oh man, I think the last time Ali Rex and we were in the ring, it had to be like just around the time that I was just getting into traveling the roads and really working the independents a lot more. So she was kind of like one of the first couple opponents that I've had. And there was a major grow up between the both of us. It wasn't just me, it was definitely her as well. And although she did suffer an injury and this was her first match with me coming back, which I'm definitely honored to have, we've definitely grown from years ago up until now. And definitely I was very much prepared for Ali Rex. Like I said, I know some of her old tricks, and she tried it on me in the ring. But yeah, I was definitely prepared for her, and she messed around and found out.
And you know what? Let's take it to that match right now and see it all go down.
Yeah, Ali Rex looked the second time at Maserati, and Maserati didn't want any part of it.
Arm drag from Rex.
Yeah, Tasha was very proud of that up and over out of the corner, except Ali Rex wasn't there.
Almost perfect.
Oh, that walkover into the forearm on display.
Oh, but 619 caught by Tasha Steelz.
Steelz one step ahead, and Rex hits that turnbuckle and down in a heap on the outside. Oh, face first to the post.
Tasha Steelz, I'll say it's such a troublemaker.
Yeah, she and Maserati kind of like two peas in a proverbial pod.
Rex with some overhand and underhand shots. Right between the shoulders.
What a pump kick right into the cover. That's it. Oh!
I mean, if that had been the match, what an impactful cover.
I would not have been shocked.
Now wrenching back, so much pressure on the spine and neck of Ali Rex. Tasha Steelz, though, damage.
putting the bad mouth on Rex the whole way to the ropes. And now Steelz using the ropes.
All that pressure on the throat of Rex. This is someone who grew up in not the greatest of neighborhoods. The Brick City is not the kindest of places.
No.
Rolling through. Tasha Steelz in the corner. Primed. A drop kick. Hook in the leg. Looking for the win. Rex kicks out. And again, Tasha Steelz. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Really smart to capitalize off the distraction. And the crucifix, the pin, shoulders are down.
Didn't quite get all of that crucifix bomb. For the backslide though.
Tasha Steelz kicking like crazy, able to break. Russian leg sweep. And Allie Rex with the cover.
Not a ton of authority on that last kick out by Steelz. Just enough to get the shoulder off the canvas, but oh, a spine buster with authority, however. She tells Maserati, watch this, I'm gonna show you something.
Tasha Steelz locked and loaded, but look at the flexibility of Rex.
Matrix evasion there into the head scissors.
And now Rex off the rope with the 619. Tasha Steelz is down.
Rex
And
with the cover.
She's got it. That's no. Tasha Steelz.
Desperation kick out there.
Once more that walkover into the corner, into an empty turnbuckle.
Right into the code breaker and a cover.
Deep cover, but Allie Rex still kicks out. How aggravated has this got to make Tasha Steelz? Tasha Steelz looking for that cutter. And now, oh no, Rex! Shoulder of Steelz driving Rex all the way into the corner.
Yeah, Rex took a second to play to the cameras and it cost her.
Oh, big open palm strike. Gets herself back to the mat. Oh,
Long blow
lower.
out of the corner. Isn't enough? Cover! Yeah, and when you're in there against an Impact knockout, you pick up a victory. That's something, again, that type of win makes a statement, not just in this locker room, but in that company as well, and everyone watching at home as they trade back and forth.
An absolute dissolving into a flurry. Able to duck is Rex. But no! Thrown unceremoniously. Rex with the... Oh, Rex is caught. Tasha Steelz brings a center. That's it. Rex is done.
Winner this match by submission, Tasha Steelz.
Big win for Tasha Steelz, but she more than got pushed to the limit by Allie Rex.
So we saw that there were a few moments of frustration for you during this match, but can you take us through the emotions that you were feeling after facing Allie?
You know, it felt good. Like I said, I was one of her few matches coming back from a long injury. It felt good getting the win, and she was up to her old ways again. Back, like I said, it's been a minute since we touched. So she was back to her old ways from a long time ago. That I kind of forgot about, and yeah, it felt good getting the win and staying undefeated. That I have to note that I am undefeated in Women's Wrestling Army. I plan on continuing being that way, undefeated. You know, I want to stay as the top woman, you know, and beat on everybody.
And you know, speaking of kind of what the future may hold, I don't know how much you are willing to share or you know, whatnot about your association with Maserati, but what does the future hold for Tasha Steelz in Women's Wrestling Army?
The future of Tasha Steelz is just how she is, very bright. I am the brightest star in the sky, and I plan on getting in the ring with every single female that is in Women's Wrestling Army and every single female that wants to come into Women's Wrestling Army. I want to help build this company up and create history and make history and rewrite history and all that stuff I want to do it, and I want to be able to, help make Women's Wrestling Army one of the biggest women's promotions out there today. And whatever we can do to do that, have all these bangers set up, let's do it.
Heck yes. And we obviously, of course, we love the collaboration. We love that we can all work together. So, one of the fun things that we've been doing for these episodes of Close-Ups, we've been, actually, I think this is perfect for you. You are the greatest who beat the greatest. And we have been doing WWA roster superlatives. So, those things in the yearbook, most likely to fill in the blank, whatever may have you. So we have a couple categories, and we would love to know which of your fellow WWA roster mates you would assign for each of these. Who would your top vote be? And I will let you know that you... I don't know if it's unanimous, but you've definitely gotten a few votes for one particular category. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. First and foremost, who would you say is most likely to stay up late partying?
Ooh, I want to give that to Ashley Dubois. She gives me that party girl vibe. That she handles her business in the ring, but she definitely knows how to party outside the ring as well. I'm gonna give that to Ashley.
Knows how to cut loose. Most likely to believe that they can fix something themselves.
I'm gonna give that to Trisha Dora. She's definitely know how to handle that herself. She know how to handle things a lot.
Afropunk, very industrious. Most likely to have snacks on hand.
I'm gonna have to get that to Holiday. I think she the one. She's always hungry for something.
Most likely to cry over a movie.
Deanna, she cries over. Deanna definitely. I'm sorry. I love her, but she can cry on cue, and I always have to tell her to stop crying. And if you put on the right movie, she would definitely cry. She would definitely cry, and she'll admit that herself. She's definitely a crier. So I know she would.
Okay, who would you say most glued to their phone?
I have to give it to Queen Aminata because she's always doing the TikToks and stuff. So, I think that she's always on the phone and on the social media and the editing and all the stuff like that. So she's definitely always on the TikTok thing. I'm going to give that to her.
Now we come to the category that you were voted on. Most opinionated.
I gotta get that to myself then. No wonder it's unanimous. Oh my goodness. No wonder it's unanimous. I bring out Petty Steelz every single time. Like there's not one time where Petty Steelz just doesn't make an appearance. So yeah, I would have to give that to myself. No wonder you said something was unanimous. Holy crap. Yep.
You own it. And I think some of the quips that you've had regarding our lovely Bobby Cruz have been enough to just cement you as being very, very most likely to speak your mind. We love it.
Well, Bobby asked for it, so that's he asked for it, so that's what he deserves.
He just wishes he could have the flavor,
Yep.
And last but not least, as we wrap up our WWA superlatives, most likely to be a superhero in disguise.
Definitely Janai Kai. She's already got the attitude for it. She's got the swag for it. So I definitely can see her having like that superhero in disguise kind of feel,
For sure. Well, Tasha, it has been so great chatting with you. I know you're super busy, so I'm glad you could make the time to sit down with us for your close-up. And for our friends at home, we appreciate you tuning in on Pro Wrestling TV and subscribing over at Brand Army for exclusive content. Be sure to get your tickets now because Anywhere You Land is taking place November 4th and 5th back in the Chicago area at the iconic Berwyn Eagles Club. You won't want to miss it. And to my friend Tasha Steelz, I'll see you there.
That is on what? Oh.